Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Under the Flag of the Rising Sun, a Japanese war drama from 1972 that was directed by Kinji Fukasaku. Now the story here is about a war widow who is determined to clear the name of her disgraced husband, who was supposedly court-martialed for desertion and then subsequently executed. Now I say supposedly because official records are very spotty and unconvincing regarding this matter, but the ministry that distributes benefits continues to deny her a pension. Now there's a lot of turnover in that department, with a new section chief that comes and goes every once in a while. So our protagonist becomes understandably frustrated because she has to tell the same story to different people over and over again, and the people really don't care that much about her situation. And then eventually, she's the one who is burdened by having to somehow find evidence that contradicts the government's conclusion on the matter. Now, early on in the film, she does get a lead here. Okay, the new section chief sympathizes with her situation, first guy to do so apparently, and he gives her the names of 4 survivors from her husband's garrison. She then seeks these men out, but each one tells a dramatically different story about her husband's conduct. So if she's able to get an actual compelling story out of these men, the government might reverse the decision on her husband, but she's having problems here. And some of these recollections by these men have contradictory facts within them. So thus begins a mystery that she is determined to solve. So that's the premise here. Now stylistically, this film shifts back and forth between present-day events, which are shot in color, and then the lengthy flashbacks, which are shot in black and white. And the flashbacks are depicting the wartime events that concern this investigation. Now, the flashbacks are a mix of frenetic fictional scenes, regarding the film, that are blended with still shots that seem like they're actual war photos that were taken from real-life photographers. So this is kind of an interesting choice by Fukasaku, and I think that it works really well when you understand that these flashbacks are essentially stories that are being told from the perspective of the men that the widow is interviewing. And this is occurring decades after the war actually ended, in the early 1970s here. Meaning that these sequences are kind of a mix of hazy memories that are possibly unreliable, but are nevertheless rooted in actual events. Hence the use of war photos. So the stylistic choices by Fukasaku really does mirror what's going on in the actual film, and I like that. Now the mystery element definitely makes the narrative structure interesting, but this film is more than just a mystery. There's much criticism directed towards the Japanese government and military officials who, from tactical mistakes to bureaucratic incompetence to outright corruption. The only people who are really able to successfully move forward from this war were the high-ranking politicians and generals, who achieved much success after the fact, despite the fact that a few of them were technically war criminals. There is some very good dialogue related to these points. I especially liked the exchange with the school teacher in particular, which is rather insightful. There's much focus on the harrowing shortage of food for Japanese soldiers who were trapped in the forests during the final stages of the war. There's also an emphasis on how the past defines the character's present conditions. So you have a lot of different themes here, and they're all pretty interesting. The lead actress is Sachiko Hidari, who does a fine job in this, but the most recognizable face to Western viewers is likely Tetsuro Tanba, who plays the husband during the flashbacks. Now you'll probably recognize him as the old grandfather in Miike's Happiness of the Katakuris from 2001. He's very good in this. This is one of his best performances that I've seen from him. Most of the actors in this film had to display strong emotion throughout, since the premise leads to a very painful experience for most of the characters. And it does get violent, as one might expect from a war film. So, all in all, I definitely recommend Under the Flag of the Rising Sun. Not many criticisms I have of this film. It's a deliberately paced war drama, so just be expecting that. But it does have a nice sense of self-criticism, a Japanese filmmaker criticizing the Japanese government, and that's pretty interesting and relevant. So definitely watch this film, especially if you're in the mood for a high-quality war drama. Now, this is moderately available on DVD in the United States, but copies are starting to get expensive. Fortunately, though, Netflix still has it in their DVD rental library. I still subscribe to the Netflix DVD service, and that's how I got this one, to rewatch. So, yeah, check this one out. It's good. And as always, we will see you next time.